Hey, good morning. It's currently 6:30. So, last video for doing the voice over video, people seems to like it, so I thought I'll give it another try. So here, this basically today we are going to convert the model from Genshin Impact Ganyu over to Dust 3D. So yeah, same thing. First thing we need to do is to actually import the model into Blender. In this particular case, the model is in PMX, which is MMD format, because this is the format that the game exports in. So, as always, first thing first, we will import in PMX. And go. So MMD models usually they are extremely oversized, so you need to scale them down a little bit. And I keep forgetting to turn on this so that you can see what exactly am I doing, which button am I pressing, right? So this is the model itself. So as always, try to fit the model to the Genesis figure. So usually what I do is I fit to the mouth because the teeth is usually the most troublesome part, but sometimes it is more beneficial to fit to the shoulders. But in this case, I'll just leave it like that. Okay, then next I think I'll be repeating most of this quite a lot of times. So if you have seen my previous live stream, you should generally know the steps that I do, right? So basically now I'm deleting off the bones that we don't need, which are the bones in the other layer. So we just have them in one layer. And then I will change the viewport display to stick because that's what I find easiest to work with. Okay, and currently the model is to the face, to the mouth, is fitted to the mouth. So that is basically the model. Then for MMD in particular, because there's always a whole ton of these joints and bones which are not needed. So normally what I will do is I will select everything and put them into a collection. So you have the joints and you have the rig body. Those are for MMD and not used in what I do. So I would actually delete them all to make things a little bit cleaner to for organizational purposes, basically. Okay, so this is what we have left with, and this is the Genesis 8 female body. Okay, then for this kind of model, right, for MMD model, I normally, if I have done one before, I would want to use that model as a basis for this current model that I am converting. So in this case, previously we have actually converted a Beidou model. So I will use that as the base instead of the default Genesis female model, right? So it's easier that way. So now I have the Beidou's full morph, which is this one. So same thing, keep word order. I'm not sure if it's actually necessary because this is the import for the basis. Basically, you're just using this to fit the model, but it's a good habit to go into anyway. So this is the Beidou model, which you will see that it actually is much closer to what the model is, to what the Ganyu model compared to the Genesis 8 model. So it's closer, it's easy to work with this way, right? So next, what I will do is I will fit the skeleton a little bit closer to what sorry, fit the model to be a little bit closer to what the actual base model is, right? So one thing you'll notice is that if the character is wearing high heels, you would want to actually align the heel of the feet to the model first. This is so that when you use it, if the heels will not be affected, will not be affecting the model too much, right? So what I'll do is I will actually lower this down a little bit, and then I will move the legs. So you in this case I will need to actually do something first, which is to remove the where is it? Is it in post? Yeah, remove the bone constraint for the shin and the feet. So I'll remove these two here and remove these two here. So the reason for doing that, right, is because if you don't remove, then they will not move when you, like for example, if you're trying to move the bone here, if I go to post mode and if I move the bone, the rest of the feet will actually not move along with it. Okay, so that's the reason for moving. How come the mesh is not moving this time? This is weird. So am I moving the correct one? Everything else seems to be working. Not sure why this isn't. This is the one. Like, not sure why, but anyway. So I will move this here like so. Okay, so it will actually be near the heel, right? Then I can do the proper resizing of the model to make sure that it doesn't that it fits properly. Okay, so something like that, and make sure that it is fitted to the face. Like so. Okay. And then the movements in the arms. Okay, so what I am doing here, if you notice, is that I'm actually moving it according to rotation by degree. So in this case, it is 15 degrees. So how I determine that, right, is that if you notice up here on the upper left hand side, there's a rotation value. So when you are rotating it manually, you'll see the rotation value changes, right? So when it roughly fits, you'll see that there's the number there. So you just round it up to roughly the correct figure, and then you do the same on the other side. So 15 negative, and this is how you balance these two sides if you are not able to use the mirror key. So this is just for your information, because in this case you can actually use the mirror key to move it around, right? So same thing, if there's any problems with the keys, with the direction that it's moving in, you can do a bone row recalculation, and that should fix the problem. And there we go. So roughly around 15 degrees, give or take. Okay, then for MMD, because they actually combine all their materials, all their mesh into one material. So what you need to do is to use the MMD tab. This one comes when you install the MMD importer, right? So select the mesh and then separate by material. This is useful because I think, if I'm not wrong, it's a script of some sort, because you can use this with any mesh. It doesn't necessarily need to be a MMD mesh, right? So this is all a whole bunch of Chinese lettering. So if you know how to read Chinese, it's easier. So this is the face, this is the hair, this is the horns, clothing, new apparel of some sort. Okay, this is the vision, this is the skin, etc., etc. So this is a blush, face blush, face number 2. This one is the eyelashes. This is the, what do you call it, the eye line, the brow, the eyes. There's a star within the eyes. If I'm not wrong, it's an MMD thing as well. So yeah, the star within the eyes. This is the mouth and the tongue and the teeth, etc., etc. So it is much more pleasant to listen to you in your live stream. Thank you very much, and you can learn much more. So hopefully this will be useful, because previously the reason why I don't want to do voiceover is because number one, you can't really hear. I mean, I can't really do. I am not very good at speaking, if you notice. So and also, you know, I can't play music along with when trying to speak. So that's the reason why I usually don't do too many live, as in talking. But since the last video, people seems to like it, so I thought I'll give it a try again. So that's the reason for that. Okay, so basically now we have everything all separated out. So what I normally do is I would actually firstly I would actually select everything, right? And then I will merge by distance first and foremost. Reason being, because MMD, they actually delete or they actually for some reason their mesh is actually not merged along the UV. So let's say for example, in this case, you can see that all these lines and based on the UV, right, they are actually not connected along these lines. So I'm not sure why MMD does this, but it is not useful for our purposes. So this is the reason why I would actually good night. Moheng King is actually good morning for me. It is currently almost 7 a.m, 6:45 about there. So yeah, it's actually good morning for me. Right, so where was I? Yeah, so because of this, I will merge the MMD so that when you export them over to dust, right, you will have less problems. Okay, so before that, let's see if there's any texture. Oh yeah, the textures are all applied, so that is very good also. Okay, so you will see this is the clothing. So after that, what I will do is I will actually take out all the parts that is floating. We will deal with them later. So the hair and the horns will all be hidden. Eyebrow, eyelashes, and the eyes itself. Okay, so this is the star and the eye star and the blush that I was talking about. And the mouth, not required. The teeth also not required. And all these parts. Okay, so this is the more interesting parts, because this down here, they are all connected together. So what I will do in this case is I will actually do a duplicate first. Okay, so you duplicate out the clothing, and then you hide the first clothing. So now we are only working with this one. So what I want to do at this point is to take out anything that is not linked to the body shape. So in this case, like for example, this piece down here, I will flatten it down. Right, so this is already flattened, and this piece can be taken out. So you hide this first. Basically, anything that is not conducive or not included in the shape of the body will be taken out. So hopefully you would have to make your own body. I'm not sure whether you need to or not, because Genshin body is MMD base, if I'm not wrong, and their body type is actually pretty weird. So yeah, but that will be something you have to decide for yourself. So the bell I will take out as well. And delete. Okay, so sometimes it might be easier to base on materials. So for example, in this case, let's see if there's, yeah, so it's only selecting the material. So delete. And I'll top off the shoes as well. So later on, when I wrap this, I will exclude the feet and replace it with the normal feet. So for that, I just want the general shape of the body, which you can see down here right now. Okay, so next it'll be the sleeves. Let's see what we're working with here. Okay, so I will need to delete off the sleeves as well. You did? I'll have to check it out. I think I remember that, but also not really. Actually, I think I do have one for Ganyu. For the base. Now that I think about it, let's see what we're working with this one. This might actually be more useful. Okay, so let's see. I will import. Oh, and this one has the body already. So yeah, this will be much more useful for us. Okay, so let me see. Same thing. I will select all of this here and hide this. So this, delete this. And shrink this down. Oops. Not sure why is it selecting everything. That's oh, maybe it's because this one. All right. Yep, there we go. So I'll have to check it out later. For on Discord, is it? Yeah. So for Tifa, there are many of those. I mean, seriously, the literally the minute that she comes out, right? That's one of the first things that models actually did. In fact, so not really that surprising. And just looking at the rough. Okay, so this should roughly be how it is fitted. Though the arms seems to be getting shorter and shorter for some reason. Okay, so I'll hide this and use this as my base. And let's see, separate by material again. Okay, so this is a much easier mesh to deal with. I just need to get rid of all these here. And I can export this entire thing. Wait, what's this? Fingernails. Fingernails. Okay, never mind. So skin phase 2. This one, if I'm not wrong, is okay, fair enough. All right, so I will grab this entire thing. Let me hide this. I'll grab this entire thing and I will export it as a mesh. So link in the model description. I would have to check it out later. Unless, yeah, I don't have Discord open right now. Anyway, in YouTube, so that kind of thing, not the best thing to show on YouTube. So I'll check it out after I'm done with this, which shouldn't take too long. Because I mostly have the base already done, so hopefully this will be faster. Let's see if I can finish it in 3 hours. Okay, so rep 3 and full body. I don't think I will need much use. I will make much use of the body texture, because I think I would just replace the entire thing with one color anyway. But for use in finding the points, it should be easier to use. So here. Okay, so basically is to match the points here. Oh yeah, let me use the Beidou body that we did the last time. So, well, actually I should use Amber's body. I think they have the same type. Amber is one of the first few model that I actually use way back. The first Genshin, in fact, even before I started playing Genshin, this is the model that I use, that I did. So I'm not sure how accurate it would be now. I might actually go back and redo her one of these days. But then again, I say that yep, it doesn't work. So I say that with a lot of models. So yeah. Let's see who else. Lisa? No, Lisa is the tall type, tall archetype. So Beidou, I think, will be the best one to go about it for now. Genshin Impact. Mona, yeah, Mona might work. Full body. And nope, doesn't work also. The reason for that is because previously I do not know when you export body, right, you are not supposed to you have to keep the vertic order. So because of this, some of the models that previously I would have used are not able to be used, because if you see the model, right, when you see something like this, right, that means your vert order is haywire already. So this one you will not be able to use it. So Beidou. For sucrose, that means yours will be still quite low, because if I didn't remember wrongly, sucrose is actually quite far below. Yeah, sorry about that, because people keep adding stuff to this list, and then they keep boosting the amount. So yeah, so the amount keeps going up. The number of the number of model that I need to do just keeps going up. And it's not in this list for some weird reason. I think I'll have to check with the other list. Oh yeah, it's under private. Right. And you just show it here, and you just mention it here. There you go. So it's one of these three down here, which is just below this one. And this particular person has been pushing me to get his model out, but his is still under quite a long list of stuff. So yeah. So sorry about the delay. I am trying my best to clear this as fast as I can. Even though it doesn't really seem like that sometimes. I mean, because there are people have been complaining to me about how slow my model comes out. So I think in the future I would not export so many models at one shot. So because this huge list, just to let you all know, is basically within 24 hours. So I actually put up the commission. I open up the commission, and within 24 hours, that is the amount, more or less, I got. Or 80% of the list, right, came from that initial 24 hours commission. Then after that, people just keep boosting and adding to it. So that is how I get the humongous list that I got right now. But I think in the future I would not want to do that anymore. As in, I wouldn't want to put in the allow a limited amount of commissions, because it just cause trouble for everybody. Everybody have to so long. Like for example, this poor guy, this chip and cookie commission. If I'm not wrong, it was given to me last August or September, so more than half a year already. So yeah. In fact, by right, I should not be allowing boosting even really, because it really pushes down the order of the commissions. But some of the people, I mean, they literally threw money at me, quite literally. I mean, there's one guy, his total boosting alone, not including the commission amount, initial commission amount, just the boost alone is over $700. So I mean, I can't really say no to that. So that is the reason. Thank you, Mohan King. Thank you for your kind compliment, and also Sanders for the thumbs up. It's the one advantage about this kind of live stream thing, maybe probably will be that I can actually see people's appreciation. Is always very much appreciated. I mean, when I first started doing this, I wasn't expecting anything like this now. When I initially started at time, I didn't have, I mean, it was much smaller. So yeah, it's really much appreciated, all the support that you guys have been giving. So right now, basically all I can do is to try my best to clear the commissions as fast as I can, and not to boast, but I think, if I'm not wrong, I am one of the fastest around already, more or less, because I mean, I haven't seen anybody output quite the amount that I did, almost one model a day. So yeah, this is about the maximum speed that I can go at already. I'm not sure how much faster I can be, unless I find some way to crazily optimize the way I do things. Like for example, this Warp 3 program, it helps optimize a lot of things when I first learn how to use it. So maybe if I have another, if something else comes out that is similar to this, I might have another leap in the speed in which I complete commissions. But otherwise, this is about the maximum I can go already. It's quite fast. As in the how to put it, the speed, that's about the limit that I can go at, so to speak. Yeah, so let me see, 48. Yes. So I don't need the feed. Points. And yeah. Okay, so 39 is here. Yeah. So yeah, basically almost every model that I do more or less follows the same. What's 27 to here? Oh dear. It basically follows the same path and the same pattern. So I'm basically doing the same thing over and over and over again. So one of the reasons why I didn't really want to initially, when I was doing all this this YouTube in the first place, is basically because you have Mohan, under Mohan King, you have talent for. Oh, thank you very much. thank you. Right. So where was I? Oh yeah. So one of the reason why I first started doing this YouTube thing is because somebody actually wanted to see how I do my my models live, and initially because almost everything that I do is very repetitive. So I'm always, if you've seen all my live stream, they are more or less the same. So that is the reason why in the end I don't really want to put in a voice commentary. For one, is because nothing much to say. The previous video I've actually explained all of this already, so now it's just repeating the same process again. Yeah, so because of this Indian, I decided not to do the voice much. But since you guys seems to like it so much, I'm trying again. So yeah, so that's basically how it is. And here. The one thing I did notice about Genshin Impact models though, they love their open back. The almost every female model, the back is wide open, which I can understand. Yeah. Okay, so 49, and that should be it. No, not yep, that's it. So just to make things a bit easier for me, I will put it on the knee as well. Okay, so next, what you want to do is to define the excluded mesh, which for me will be the feet. All right, and later I'll need to replace the feet as well. So because it will definitely go haywire. Oh yeah, and the top of the head. Nearly forgot the top of the head. So if you have the torso already, one of a quick way is you can actually put in material torso. So you selected all the torso. Then you deselect the entire part. Sorry, you deselect the entire part here. Yeah, sorry, wrong key press. So that only the head is selected. I'm sorry, the back of the head is selected. Or part of the excluding of the mesh, right? So I keep pressing the wrong keys. Okay, so something like that. And it seems that Ganyu's eyes are a little bit, oh dear. Luckily I noticed that. Okay, so it seems that Ganyu's eyes is a little bit on the bigger side. So I will add a few more points here. just to help with the eyes a little bit. And here perhaps. Okay, so something like that, and I'll let it wrap, and we'll see what happens with the result. Yep, that's one of the things that she's known for. Because if you know from the game, right, you're playing in a third person view, and most of the time you are looking at the character from behind. So Ganyu, and in fact most of the female characters, that is one of their characteristic focal points, so to speak. If you've seen Rosaria's model, she also has a very nice one. Though unfortunately Rosaria is also highly nerfed nowadays because of the, if I'm not wrong, because of China's, the CCP's censorship. So unfortunately, she has been downsized quite a little bit. But good thing Ganyu isn't affected yet, and we can still get the old models, the original models that is already out in the internet. So as you know, once it's out in the internet, it's everywhere. You can't really suppress it anymore. So at the very least, we can still use these models, even though it's no longer in game. But for our purposes, with these models that we can use in other programs, they still exist. So that's a good thing. Okay, so we have some hiccup down here. I'll need to smoothen it out in Blender later. But other than that, it's more or less worked. Okay, so as mentioned, I will need to replace the legs, the feet. And yeah, the teeth and the mouth seems okay. So I will also replace the ears, because as I mentioned in the last video, the ears, you can actually push them back in place, even though the base mesh is just basically a flat disk of a mesh, right? So, and the hands, because it is easier to deal with the dust 3D hands. Their rigging is fairly complicated. I'm not say complicated, but very rigid. So you need the fingers to be in a certain position. Otherwise, like for example, if your fingers are too wide apart, then you won't be able to clench the hands into a fist, for example. It won't work that well. So, and you need a lot more adjusting. So because of this, I usually like to keep the hands in the proper position. So Ganyu model is done. And this is the texture. Actually, I don't need the body texture. This is the face texture. Face texture I would need, because Genshin's face, they do have some intricate details in the face texture. For example, if you look at the eyes down here, they usually have this eyeshadow at the corner of their eyes, which is quite hard to replicate if you're trying to paint it directly. So that's always useful to have a base texture already. Okay, so now I will import the textures the model that we did. Okay, so pivot order and polygroups, these two must be selected. Not say must, but it makes things a lot easier. Okay, so I will hide this and work on this. So already you notice there are a few parts that you can improve on. So I'll be sculpting this part down here, make it a little bit smoother later, and as well as here. And the legs seems okay. The hands might need a bit of smoothing as well, and also this arm here, which I mentioned just now. Right. So good thing because it's a animated model, so I can use mirror, and we'll just pull this out a little bit. Pull this out a little bit. Definitely pull this out. And smoothen the whole thing. It's a real shame that the Genshin Impact fan base are 90% psycho. And the Twitter drama is that is very true. Though I would not say 90%. I will honestly, it is my personal belief that the crazy Genshin fans are, I don't know, 10-20% maybe. It's just that they are the loudest. They make the most noise. The normal people, the normal players, they are usually they just keep to themselves. They don't join in the drama. They just play the game, and it is actually it's quite fun. There are a lot of things to enjoy in the game, and especially if you don't go into the drama. So it is much healthier that way. I would say it's much healthier to just avoid the entire thing altogether. Less of a trouble, less of a problems for your mental health even. Yeah, as mentioned, some of the people there can be really, really crazy. That is very true. Okay, so the eyes is fairly well done already, so I don't really need to move much. The mouth though is sticking out down here, which is weird because I thought I linked that to the mouth, make it properly already. But anyway, so same thing, we'll just need to fix the mouth a little bit. So select the teeth, select the mouth, then reduce the selection one time, go to global and move it in place. The fast way to check is you subdivide this thing, you should have a gap and you can see where the teeth is. So roughly around here, somewhere around here. And I'll just smooth this part here and we can't select that. Relax. Okay. And then I will smooth the corner. And close the mouth. So proportional editing on, and then I will move the mouth down into place and relax this one. Move this up, this down, and smoothen this. There we go. Okay, so next will be the nose. I'll just need to smoothen this line here a little bit. And then compared to the actual head, which is a little bit out for some reason. Oh, sorry, compared to the wrong head. This one, yeah. So moving polygons around as usual. This one out a bit, and this one out a little bit. Something like that. Okay, so we have the head more or less. People are getting killed by them. They don't agree to. Shipping is a different story. Everybody has their own preferred have their own preferred naval vessel, so to speak. And it honestly isn't helped by the company, the MiHoYo company, doing all kinds of things to promote misunderstanding, I would say. Okay, I'm moving this over to my tablet to do a bit of sculpting. But in terms of shipping, to be honest, it is actually a ordered problem. It is not only limited to Genshin's stuff, My drama on Genshin was to spend 160 wishes for Ganyu, and now I expended 30 wishes to get this new character, and I'm broke, and now the new, you mean Sakura? You mean not Sakura, sorry, Ye Miko? I got her, and she's actually very, very nice to use. Yeah. I'm sorry if I butcher your name. I am